future husband, this is very first letter ever addressed to you, even before we meet. I have been thinking from past few days to write a letter to you, but somehow I have been putting the idea off, thinking that I'll pour my heart when I'm in a blissful state of mind. But today I decided to pen few words when I'm utterly confused, terribly lonely, and feeling devastated. Since last night, I'm asking God, how long more? Now I really feel weary, Lord. I cannot tread this path of loneliness. It is so very tiresome and I'm running out of my strength to carry on. I wait and wait for that day you appear before me, and both we will know instantly that God chose us to be man and wife from all eternity. And I know when I meet you, it will be most glorious and blessed moment of my life, for which I diligently sought God. You know, God is wonderful and He's preparing us for each other. So we always glorify through our marriage and love for each other, and let the world know how wonderful our God is. I have been thinking you must be someone really precious, really wonderful, because God has been preparing me in wonderful ways from past few days, in a ways those are unthinkable. He's touching me, He's rebuilding me, repairing, evacuating, cleansing the garden of my heart, so beautiful flower of our marriage, and love can blossom and spread its fragrance around the world. He's preparing paths, removing obstacles, so that our paths can cross each other's, and I have been complaining of a delay. And you know what? He's also encouraging me to pray for you, because you must be waiting for God to move in your life, maybe asking Him the same question that I have been asking. Yes, that's why He whispered in my heart to pray for you, and I'm praying for you. Someday I will hand over this letter to you in person. You will wonder and marvel at God's awesomeness. You know, as I'm penning these words, relentlessly words are flowing, and heaviness of my loneliness is being lifted, and I feel God is smiling at us. And last night, I have been very sad and crying out to Lord, and Jesus spoke to me the exact words needed. I am waiting for you, your lady in waiting.
Friends, you just read the letter that Sahana had written. This letter is so prophetic that when I first read it on the day of our marriage, I was in tears. I was in tears basically for two reasons. The first reason being that Sahana had won and fought the good fight. She waited in prayer, in submission to God. Although she went through a lot of hardships, she waited in prayer, and she molded me through her prayers, even when she did not know me. I was an unknown figure to her. She had no idea whether I existed, but in faith she persisted in praying for me. And the second reason why I wept was because all the events of my life swept through my mind, especially those events where I was in mortal danger. There were times when I was in total danger, and I've seen the hand of God lift me out of danger, lift me out of toxic people's relationships, lift me out of many mistakes that I had made, some blunders that I had created, which were very expensive actually. The blunders that could have ended in the destruction of my life. I was miraculously saved. The decisions that I took many times were not all that great, but because of Sahana's prayers, which I realized later on, I was saved. My heart was protected. Myself was protected. I was not rushing into danger although I was walking in that path, because Sahana's prayers were helping me. And that's what I want to stress out over here, my friends. More than our story, I want you to see the hand of God at work. And it's not just us, it can be your reality. In fact, we want it to be your reality as well. Now, you may be a married person already. Then what is the significance of this story? The significance of this story is that you can appreciate the power of prayer. When God can use the prayer of yet to be married people and save each other, how much more will be the power of the sacramental union of matrimony? When you are married in the sacrament of matrimony, your prayer is even more powerful when you pray for your spouse. So do not hesitate to pray for several areas of your spouse. Your husband or your wife may be morally very strong, maybe doing really well right now, or maybe not doing all that well. But let us never have complete confidence on our human strengths. Let us only have confidence on divine strength, the strength of God. That's what our prayer does. Now, I would also like to highlight, apart from this, I would like to highlight a few prophetic instances in this letter. The first one being when Sahana had written, I wait and wait for the day you appear before me, and both will know instantly that God chose us to be man and wife from all eternity. And that is exactly what happened, friends. If you have watched the previous video, if you have not watched, please watch the previous video, the day we met. You'll realize that the moment we started chatting on WhatsApp on that day, on October 19, 2015, instantly at the same time, we both knew that we were made for each other forever. So that was first area where the prophecy was fulfilled, where this letter is so prophetic about. She had written it a few months back, but it became a reality on 19th of October 2015. The second one is, He is preparing us for each other so we can always glorify through our marriage and love for each other, and let the world know how wonderful is our God. And if you notice, that is exactly what we are doing. The reason why we are telling you this story is for no other reason but for the glory of God, so that you too may partake in the beauty and amazing plan that God has for you in your marriage. That's another area where this letter is so prophetic, because we are already doing what she had written. The next point is where she has written, He is touching, rebuilding, repairing, evacuating, cleansing the garden of my heart, so beautiful flower of our marriage and love can blossom and spread its fragrance around the world. We tell our story for God's glory. The fragrance of our marriage is not just for the sake of storytelling. It is so that everyone may appreciate their own sacrament of matrimony, their own marriages. Everyone may partake in the beauty and abundance that every marriage has to offer. The next one is wherein she has written, removing obstacles. Now, I just told you some time back, so many times obstacles were just removed from my life. I had no idea how and why I was given so much favor. But after marriage, when I read that letter, I realized that God was using Sahana's prayers. God always uses the prayers. No prayer goes waste. So let us not hesitate praying for our spouse, praying for our future spouse, or praying for anyone for that matter. The last point is wherein she has written, He is also encouraging me to pray for you because you must be waiting for God to move in your life. And that is so true. There was a time in my life when I was, especially after coming from seminary, I felt I was completely devastated, purposeless, meaningless, like a ship without a captain, just sailing across. And I was asking God, where am I going? What's happening to me? Why am I not able to hear you? Why can't I hear you anymore? Where is that clarity? Show me the purpose of my life. And this is where, because of Sahana's prayers, I was able to see the purpose of my life. Friends, all of this is only to say that how powerful is your prayer. When you're united with Christ, when you abandon yourself completely to Christ, your prayer has the power to shape the destiny of an unknown person. So why not use it to find out and to pursue your future spouse. Now, there might be some people out there who are listening to this or watching this video who have not yet accepted Jesus as their Lord and Savior. Let me tell you, friends, our story is zero without Jesus. It is only Jesus because of whom this story stands as a story of inspiration and of hope. So I would ask you to invite Jesus. I would request you to invite Jesus, to ask Him to reveal Himself to you, to reveal His plans for you. Have a heart-to-heart conversation with Him. He does not delight in exemplary worship. He does not delight in verbose language. He delights in a heart-to-heart encounter. If you have no idea of who Jesus is, then please today ask Jesus to reveal Himself to you, His plans for you. And if the person who's watching this video is already a Christian, if you are a Christian or if you're a believer in Jesus Christ, then I would like to ask you to please deepen your relationship with Him. He is not a person to turn to when you're in trouble. He is a person to live with at every moment for all eternity. And eternity starts now. And if it's a religious person, let's say if a sister or a religious sister or a brother or a priest is watching this video, then let this video be a testament of the power of sacraments, the power that God has invested in prayer. Come closer to Jesus, bask in His love, pray for each other, and see the difference. So friends, this is what I would like to share with you today. I hope this video has added value to you. More than anything else, I hope that you have seen how wonderfully God has worked in our lives and how wonderfully God can work in your lives. So please comment, like, and subscribe, and send this video out to as many people as you want to share it with. Let God be given the glory. Thank you.